Okay, Nagraj, we can start now.
Okay. Let me just share my screen. Please let me know if you can see. So I hope you can see my screen, right? Amrut, or guys?
Yes, we are able to see your screen, right?
Okay. So let me just overview the thing. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So why trigger? Because trigger is just a trigger is just the Apex code to perform the custom action before and after changes the Salesforce record, right? And we can do the same. Means we can perform actions after the changes by using workflow and process builder. But why trigger? Because using trigger we can fire the action before changing and after changing as well. And the same side we can do only after changing, we can fire only after changing action using process builder and workflow. That's the main difference. And again we can fire an action after the undelete or delete, which is not supported currently, which is not supported by using process builder and flow and workflow. Yes, so we already completed the theoretical part, and we have already started the coding. So let me jump to the directly coding. Okay, so our last scenario is like, what was our scenario? Let's say if there is an account and it contains some contact under it. Contact is a child of account, which is a standard flow. And the scenario is like, we have to fetch the count of all the contact which does not have email in it, and we have to save the contact count on account. So this is we can do by using two triggers. We can update the account by creating a trigger on account, but what it will cause, it will only account trigger will get fired only when we done changes on an account. Let's say if there is an account A and it contains 10 contact, and according to our scenario, if there is 5 contact without email, we have to fetch the count 5 on account. But and if we write trigger on account, it will also update the email count, but only when we do any changes in that particular account. But if we added one more contact under it, it will not update the right count, because account trigger will not get fire, and vice versa. This is just off subject. I'm just letting you know that if account trigger is firing and same side there is a trigger on a contact, and if you want to fire child's trigger as well, so it is not possible and it is not supported in our Salesforce. If you are doing any changes on a parent, then only parent will get fired on same on you can say undeletion or insertion. So that's why what we are doing is we are writing a trigger on a contact. And what is our functionality for a trigger is, whenever we insert update, delete, and undelete, it will get fired and it will update the parent account. And for now, what we are doing is we are supposing the after event, because we don't want to send an confirmation email, or we don't want to we don't want to add any approval processes, and we don't want to check any of the validation, customs validation, and we don't want to update the contact. What we want is, what is our agenda is, we want to update the account. So in this case, before trigger won't work, right? So what we will need a after trigger. So that's why after insert, after update, after delete, and after undelete, we are supposing the after trigger. Now make sure guys that your trigger won't contain any extra functionality. Your trigger will contain what is your trigger, and what is your you can say the trigger event, and on that event which method of class you are going to call. The trigger should contain only this part, and all the functionality, all the logic should contain in a handler. Handler is a just a apex class which we use to call, or which we use to implement the functionality under that class, and we can call this class inside the trigger. So this is the standard way, and this looks good, this is very familiar, and you can anyway you can debug the error if you ever getting the error, because this is just a small code. So that's why we are thinking like that, no, this is not important. But when we try to write any big code, any call out code, at that time if you say if you want to call any future method, at that time we always get confused which method we need to remove, which method we need to add a debug. So it's better that we can create a new class, and inside that we can create a small method which we are using to call in a trigger. Okay, so method name should be familiar, so that you can easily understand this method is why we are using this method. So manage contact is like we are managing the contact. It means we are fetching something inside it from it, and we are setting it to the account. So so it should name is update account. Okay, so the name should be familiar. Okay, let me go back to the trigger. Trigger dot is after is insert and is undelete. We are using the both of these for firing any functionality on insertion and on undelete. So the previous question from I guess, yeah, Shraddha, why cannot we use before undelete? So see, before there is no event present like before undelete. Before undelete is what we are reinserting the what you can say, we are reinserting the records from recycle bin to the Salesforce database. Okay, but the difference between is insert and undelete is, while inserting, Salesforce provide us a fresh Salesforce ID. But in the case of undelete, Salesforce provide us old undelete old Salesforce ID which was associated with that record previously. Delete. Okay, so there is no concept as a before insert or trigger.old map for undelete. So that's why we cannot use before undelete. Okay, so for trigger and insert and undelete is nothing but the insert only. And for that we can use only trigger.new. There is no concept of a trigger.old and old map. Okay, And for update is nothing but we have already list of record and we are updating something, means we have already record inside the Salesforce and we are updating something. So that's why it is giving us trigger.new, old map, new map, which will contain like new contains new value, new values, and list of record with the new values. Trigger old contains trigger.old contains list of records with the old value, and map is nothing but the ID and s object map, which contains old value map and new value map. For same side, is delete gives us a trigger.old, because we are deleting something, not we are not inserting or deleting something, we are deleting something. That's why it provides trigger.old. If you want to fetch the data from the deleted records, so we can only do it using trigger.old. That's why we are passing trigger.old. So I think yeah, trigger we are done with the trigger. Let us go to the handler part. Okay, so I have already we have already done with this, but I'm just recapping it. Why the method is static? Because inside the trigger we are fetching the method by using the name of class. If you want to fetch any method from a class, there are two ways. That either you can create the instance of class. Instance of class means, let's say I want to create an instance, so I can create oh sorry, I can create like a obj this or new and this. Because of this, internally what Salesforce does is Salesforce internally calls the constructor. So there is two type of constructor, three type of constructor in a Java, but Salesforce uses only two type of constructor. The one is a parameterized constructor, which is a default constructor, you can say. Second one is a non-parameterized constructor is a default constructor. Second one is a parameterized constructor, which is like the method with the same name of a class and which accepts some parameter inside it as an attribute. Okay. And copy constructor is a concept of Java. Actually, Apex is inherited by Java only. It's a Java-like code. But inside the Salesforce, we are very lessly use a copy constructor. Copy constructor is nothing but we are copying the either parameterized constructor or non-parameterized constructor, and we are changing something. Like you can say if parameterized constructor contains two attribute. First attribute is an integer and second attribute is a what you can say string. We are creating another constructor with a two parameter, in which will be the first constructor. First attribute will be a decimal, and second will be boolean. So we are very lessly use this one. On at the time of this, Apex will internally calls a default constructor, and then we can call using this instance. Let's say if I am creating any mock class, let's public void test method, testing, I'm sorry, method. Okay, saving the same. What happened? It is not working. Okay. It is not working, I guess. Give me a moment.
Okay. So guys, till then, Nagaraj, fix this. I want you to type in the question so that we could look at it. Last
Yeah,
time,
we already
Nagaraj,
have some questions. We already have some
yes,
questions. Let me just
yes,
go to the
when
questions.
we already have some,
Yeah.
till then we
So
could
what are,
take one.
yeah. So what are, can you hear me, Amrut and guys?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, and we
Yeah.
can see the screen as
So
well.
what
Yeah.
are the govern limit is, okay. So as you all guys know that Salesforce is, uh, means some multi-talent uses multi-talent database system, so in which let's say if inside the Salesforce there is a 10 there is a 15 users, and they are using same database for managing the records and all, same space of database. Okay. And the govern limit is why govern limit is invented, because let's say if we are doing any functionality and we are using so much space, so because of this the remaining 14 people will get the issue by for using that database space or performing something action. So govern limit is like just make sure that we are whatever we are doing is by is should not exceed the limit. Okay, should not exceed the apex limit, you can say, or should not exceed the creation limit. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, I hope you can see the question. Okay. So
Yeah, I can
limit
see.
govern limit is just rules of or a protocol of a limitation for which we what we need to do in, let's say we cannot do any SQL queries inside the for loop, and we can only create 500 fields for one custom object, or we can add only 100 fields for a task. So there is a lots of govern limit defined by Salesforce. And I already answered this one. Why cannot we use before and delete? The third one is how do we bulkify the trigger? Trigger is by methodology, trigger is by default a bulkified Apex coding. Bulkify in the sense we can perform an action for multiple record at a time. This is the only definition of bulkify. And if you want to do a trigger bulkify trigger, so we should take care we should avoid the recursion. Our trigger could not cause the trigger recursion. Okay, recursion. And we cannot do more than 50 call out inside the trigger. And if you want to do a call out, we should use a future method inside it. And also if we want to call any batch class from trigger, so we should make sure that our batch class should not call the trigger again, because it will cause the recursion. Also we cannot do any DML or SQL query inside this um, for loop. And uh, we cannot get the values from a map or anything which is already pointing to a null. We should do a null pointer exception. We should check for the null pointer exception. So this makes our trigger bulkify if we take care about all these things. And how to avoid recursive in a trigger. Okay, let's say you are updating any mm, Okay, if we are updating, if we want to update a trigger which is run on same object. Let's say we are updating a bunch of a contact, and trigger is running on a contact only. So instead of updating it in a after mode, we should use a before mode. So because of this, we can we can avoid a recursion. Or what we can do is we can set, if there is some situation in which we have to use the after trigger at that time, what we can do is we can create one a static variable which we should set to a false, and at the time of trigger creation, trigger running, we can set it to a um, we can set it to true, and then we can check if that method is true, then we can avoid a recursion. At the same time, we can check is batch is executing. Let's say we are updating any trigger, and from that we are calling the batch, and that batch is again calling the trigger. So we can check is that coming from a batch class. If it is coming from batch class, so avoid the calling method. So yes, so we can do that. And why we use trigger.new and trigger.old. So I have already answered the question that trigger.new gives us new bunch of new list of the record with the new values, and trigger.old give us a list of record with the old value. So what is this inside the chart? So it's just a high. Okay, so let's move to the class developer console. Okay. Okay, so where we were at, yeah, static method. This method is non-static, and let me just show you that I cannot call that method without by using class name as what was the name of method? Testing method. Okay. When we saving it, it will give us error like, I don't know why it is taking too much time. Okay. Let me just refresh it. It is taking too time. Okay. Contact trigger. And okay. Yeah, it is giving like non-static method cannot be referenced from a static context. Okay, so if we want to call this method, then we have to create an instance of a class. And we say yes. We can, by using this instance, we can call the method, and it won't give us any error. See, it got saved. So this is not a scope of our trigger. Was just showing for extra knowledge. So let me just delete unnecessary things. Okay. So yeah, as you can see that we are passing two attribute as a list and map, which will contains a list of record, and map will contain ID and list of contact. So for and I'm iterating the list whatever I'm getting, and I'm checking the old contact map is null or not null. If it is not null, that means we are calling it for update. As you can see, I'm passing here null as a map. So if it is not null, that means it is for updation. So at that time we have to check if the ID coming from the new list, this is a for each loop, ID coming from this is contains in the old map, yes, and email is not equal to the old email. If email is getting changed, we can add here one more filter, if email is changed to a null or from null to a not null, but it will go too lengthy. So for now we can do this only if email is changing or the account is changing. Why I'm putting account for a checklist? Let's say if there is a 3 account, and under it there is a 5 contact as a child for all of the 3 accounts, and let's say account A contains 3 account without email, 3 contact without email. Account B contains 2 contact without email, and account C contains 5, all of the 5 contacts without email. And the count on account should be like for A it's a 3, for B it's a 2, and for C it's 5. Let's say I am moving a contact from C to account B, then on B it should increase from 2 to 3, and from for C it should decrease by 1. Means there was previously there was a 5, now after this it should update it to 4. So that's why I am checking the account also, if account is changing, parent account is changing, and if email is changing. And for the same, what I'm doing is I have created one a generic method which will accept all the parent account ID set. That's why what I'm doing is I'm just checking that objcon.account ID will give you new ID, new contact, new account ID, and from old contact map you can get old contact ID if there is any account change, or if there is any email change, then it will give you directly this. And we can already again we can check that. Um, we should add this, I guess. No, we have already added. Okay, we can add here one more thing, and no, it is a set, so it won't give you an error, because set always saves unique IDs only, unique data only. So that's why if we are getting same ID, so it won't harm anything. Just what we have to do is copy and paste. Yes. So we are fetching all the accounts which contains contact without email, and this is for only updation. This if will work for updation, and for else means this will work for insertion, undeletion, and deletion. We are checking straightforwardly that if the content object account which is associated to the inserted or undeleted or deleted contact. We are directly getting the account ID and passing to the method. So what is the method? Update account. So after this for, we are getting all the data. Okay, system.debug. So it is a good programming practice that before deploying or before implementing anything, we should use debug, because it will let us know that from where our cursor is stucking, or to where we are successfully implemented. So let's say I want to add this one. I can call directly this, because as it is a static method, I can call directly, and I am adding the same. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting the parent account ID set, and I am passing to the method. And inside the method, what we need to do is I have just query the accounts with the inner query, and here I'm added we have added the check for if email is equal to null only. Yes, and account ID in parent account. Okay, so let me just define explain you this query. So select ID. This is a inner query, and you can see that here I'm checking for contacts. Usually the API name for a contact is only contact, but the relationship name between account and contact is contacts. So when we try to do any inner query, we have to put here the relationship name, and that you can find. Let me just show you where you can find that. Okay, edit object. Okay, so let's say you want to fetch any contact from account. Contact from account. So we have to go to the contact, and we have to click on the parent lookup name. And here you can see one child relationship name field, and it is like a contacts. So this is for a standard. Let's say you have one custom object. Let's say you have one custom object. Let me just show you. Yes. So this is a custom object. Okay. So lookup. No. Okay. You just go to the lookup. No, it's a standard lookup. Okay. I'm creating one lookup on this. For custom object, you can define your own relationship name, whatever it is. So for now, I'm adding as a child attendees and just saving the thing. Okay. 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 So you can see that the child relationship name should be like, or it is. Oh, sorry. So child relationship is child and attendees. But we cannot direct copy and paste this name. If we want to add this for any custom object, So we have to add like this. Sorry, the name, whatever it is providing us, and we should append it with underscore underscore r. This means we are getting records from a related object, related child object. Okay, so for now we have to do it this from using related contacts, and as it is a standard, so we can use this directly. Okay, so according to this, our query will give us a contacts with email which does not have contacts which does not have email inside it, and this will perform only for that accounts which contains in this id set. And simply I'm updating the accounts field contact with no email count, and I'm passing the contact size, whatever it is, whether it is a 0 or it is a 2, it is a 5, it is a 7, whatever it is. Okay, and then I'm in outside the for loop, I'm doing the database dot update, and I'm passing the parent account id list, whatever it is, and I'm setting it as a false. uh, we can update it by using this one also, by using this update. Both will work same, both will give us same result, but the difference between these two statement is, let's say if we are updating 50 contacts, and apart from this 50 contact, 5 contacts are failing because of some validation rules, or you can say duplication rules. So if you are using this statement, because of this 5 contact, all the rest 45 contact will not will again fail. But because of if you are using this statement, it will fail that 5 contacts, but it will successfully update rest 45 contacts. So it's better that you should use database dot update, and you should pass value as a false, because the it means you are updating a list of s object with all or none. If you pass here true, so it will either update all, or it won't update anything. And if you pass false, so it will update all the record which are going to successfully updated, and it will fail the record which is have some problem in it. So okay, so let me just demo the thing. I hope you guys understand. If you have any question, you can post it on a QA or chat. I think I have one question. Can we write a trigger in a user object? Will it throw any exception? Please answer. So, what is this? Shantanu Roy. What type of exception means? What is your scenario? Can you please let me know? So for till that, let me just demo the thing. Okay. Let me just check how many accounts I have. Okay. Details. Okay, it has email. Okay, so let me just do one thing. Mm. Okay, so you can see that everything contains email address. Only this contains null in an email address. So only this will get update on successfully running. Let me just update all the contacts by asynchronously. We can do this using a data loader also, but I'm doing this using asynchronously. List of contact. List. Okay. So it will not update because we have added a check if email is updating or contact account is updating, then only we can update. For now, let me just ignore this one time updation. Okay, now it will get updated. Object contact list. Successfully. Okay, so you can see that we got a debug as a 23. Yes, 23. So successfully our trigger got run. Let me just, yes, you can see that 00002. Why we got 2 here? Because we have only this account which does not have email in its child uh, contact. Let me just open that account, open detail page. Okay, so you can see that there is no email present in both of the contact. Let me just add one email in this. Smell. Okay. Let me just open another account. Okay. So what we have done is I have removed email from this current account and I have added one email to here. So according to our trigger, it will update one to here and it will decrease one from here. Okay, let me just again run this code. Mhm. Okay, so everything is working. And let me just go to the refresh tab. Yes, you can see that previously it was 0, now it is 1, and we have found one email, but still there is one email, null email, so it decreased count by 1. So let me just do this and add the checks. Now we'll go with the proper demonstration. Let me just check if field is present. Yes, the field is present. And let me just refreshing the same. Why? Contact with no email. Okay, no email. I'm sorry. Leaving all the email. Let me just varnish the email. So according to our trigger, yes, you can see that there is a 1. And if I go back to the record and I added one here, email address, where it is, email. Okay. Test at testing.com. So you can see that it updated with 0. And let me just let me just update the parent account. Okay, so it updated 1, and let me just do the, what is this? So this is a account. Okay, let me just move that contact to the pyramid.
Nagaraj, we would take the questions, right? We have 5 minutes.
Do we have LWC after this?
Nope, we don't. But we
Okay,
I
I'm
think
just
it's okay.
wrapping up. Yeah, I'm just wrapping up.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm moving this. We already checked for the email. Now I'm moving for the account one. Yeah, so saving on account. So it should update. Yeah, you can see that there is a 0. And for pyramid, previously it was 1. Sorry. Previously it was 0 for pyramid. Oh, sorry, 1 for pyramid. Now it will contain 2. So we successfully updated the parent on updation of account and updation of email as well. Same, it will work for a delete, delete, undelete, and insert. So as we are running time, we should go with the question answer. So guys, can you have questions? You can post it on a QA. Okay, when will we get? Surely we will let you know. We will have mini assignment on the next, probably next week. But I guess we have to complete some. We have to discuss with this our management team. Yeah, probably next week. Yes. And guys, do you have any question? Okay, thank you so much. I guess guys, we are good to go. Okay, so Amrut, we are done with today's session.
Yes, thank you, Nagaraj.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.